So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I managed to stay on top of all the things, or at least give that impression. People see that I'm a medical student who does a bunch of stuff outside of school, like playing a lot of sports, volunteering, running my own business, and having a semi-decent social life while doing all that. This is a question that I've been asked a lot over the past couple of years. But honestly, the past week was quite chaotic because I just started a new posting, and so I wanted to do a better job at planning my upcoming week. So nope, I don't have everything figured out, but I'm trying to learn along the way. I'm gonna share with you the principles, the technique, and some general tips that have allowed me to manage my time better, and hopefully it can help you to maximize your 24 hours too. As a medical student, time management is absolutely critical, and I think over the past few years, I've managed to nail down a system of planning my time better. As Dale Carnegie once said, an hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. And as someone who is terribly lazy and always wants to find the easiest way to do things, I like to use this technique called time blocking to manage my time better. Time blocking is a time management method that asks you to divide your day into blocks of time. Each block is dedicated to accomplishing a specific task or group of tasks, and only those specific tasks. This is a technique that I first came across when I read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. You might have come across the idea of time blocking because many high performance individuals like Elon Musk use it too.
And now I'm kind of in the 80 to 90, which is more manageable. But that if you divide that by two, it's only like maybe 45 hours for a company, which is not much when there's a lot of things going on.
You're like a slacker. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that guy runs like multiple billion-dollar companies, has 5 children, and also has time to shitpost on Twitter. And he doesn't seem to be complaining that he doesn't have enough time like many of us do. So yeah, he probably has the most busy and hectic schedule of everyone in this planet, if not two very soon. And he does all of this by organizing his day into 5-minute intervals and pre-planning everything in advance. Okay, I'm not as crazy as Elon, and obviously I don't plan my day in 5-minute intervals, but I do so in 1-hour blocks, which seems to work quite well for a college student like me. The first principle that makes time blocking so effective, so as to answer the question that many of you have right now, why use time blocking? Why should I restrict myself to what I can do or cannot do during a particular period of time and act like a robot? And this is something many of my friends say when they see my schedule, but I like to take this as a compliment. As Parkinson's law states, work expands to fill the time allocated for it. So this is why when we had homework back in the day, we would waste away all the time that we had initially and wait till the very last day to rush through to finish our homework. So by planning exactly how much time you're going to give to each activity, we can be more productive and get things done more effectively. The other principle is the Pareto's principle, which states that 20% of all our efforts accounts for 80% of all the results. So Pareto was this 20th century economist who noted that 20% of all people were controlling 80% of all the wealth in society. And he soon realized that this phenomenon applied to all areas of our life. The biggest enemy of time management in the 21st century is majoring in the minors, because we're all surrounded by so many distractions, and this really makes it hard for us to focus on the things that we need to do. We have all these divergences that keep us away from our true path, and it makes it more difficult for us to get to the bottom of all the things that are essential. And honestly, out of all the 100 things on our to-do list, there are probably just a couple of them which are really essential. And in many ways, our greatest challenge is making sure that these distractions do not take away time from the essential things. Our attention is the most valuable thing, and that's what everyone is fighting for these days. The big companies, the apps, the ads, the social media companies. Basically, everyone is just trying to fight for your attention. And if you're not careful, you may just be leading a zombie life where you're controlled by all these external factors.
Your behaviors, you don't realize it, but you are being programmed. It was unintentional, but now you got to decide how much you're willing to give up.
The best thing that we can do for ourselves is to find out what the 20% of activities that give us 80% of results are, and really protect them at all costs. Okay, if you're convinced, let's get to time blocking. Okay, so the simplest way to do time blocking is to first write down everything you want to do on a piece of paper or a whiteboard. I'm still old school and I use a weekly planner to do this because I like to write things down. Next to the task, I just put down the estimated time that this task will take. And this goes back to using the Parkinson's law in our favor. I give myself enough time to do that task, but not too much that I end up wasting it doing other things. At this stage, try to be as liberal as you want and put down every single thing that you want to accomplish during the week. If you're a student or if you're working fixed hours and you have things that are planned out for you in advance by others, this can really work for you because you will already have blocks of time that is empty between these commitments. After you have written down everything that you want to do, pick out 3 that are going to be the top priority. These are the 3 non-negotiable tasks that are going to have the greatest impact on your life. This is going to be the 20% that's going to give you 80% of your results, and ideally these should be important tasks that are not urgent. These are usually the tasks that most people tend to skip because they can be easily postponed since they are not urgent. For me, these 3 tasks are exercise, meditation, and journaling. Having chosen the 3 highest priority tasks, I then move this over to my calendar. I use iCalendar, which syncs across all my Apple devices, and also Notion. Now when I do this, I give myself a little bit of buffer time because, let's be honest, nothing really goes 100% according to the plan all the time. This gives me leeway in case I overrun my task because of a traffic jam or things beyond my control. After filling up the 3 priority tasks, I then go on to fill up the rest of my calendar with the other tasks that I need to get done over the week. This is where the idea of time blocking becomes really useful. Once I've planned out the whole week worth of tasks in time blocks, they essentially become blocks that can just be moved around freely. Cal Newport actually provides a great example of this in his blog post. He splits his day into an original plan and revised plan. If something changes or things interrupt the original plan, he just pushes the blocks into the revised plan column. On top of the buffer time, he also includes something called reactionary time. Now, reactionary time is for things that you couldn't have planned in advance for, and this is really awesome because spontaneity is what makes life really fun, especially in the drudgery of med school. One thing I want to mention here is that don't be discouraged if you're not able to follow your plan to the minute because you're really not supposed to. This plan is supposed to serve as a guide for how your day can go, and it shouldn't add any more stress to your already stressful life. Life is inherently flawed and none of us are perfect.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die.
And there's no tactic that is 100% fail-proof. But that doesn't mean that planning in advance isn't useful. As Eisenhower once said, plans are useless, but planning is everything. Just do your best and follow as much as you can. And at the end of the day, you can analyze what went well and what didn't go so well. And remember that 20% of your actions are going to carry most of the results. And that brings me to my last but most important point, which is to avoid the temptation of overscheduling your day. Just because Elon Musk works like 100 hours every week doesn't mean that we have to. We all have different goals, different ideas, and different things that we aspire to. And frankly, not all of us want to go to Mars. Sometimes the best things happen when you're spontaneous, and you need to make sure that you have time for that. Most of human creativity and our best pursuits happen when we are in a relaxed state. So have time blocks where you just don't do anything and allow this creative side in you to flourish. In fact, that's how I got the idea for me to start this YouTube channel, which I'll probably talk about in another video about creativity. Alright, let me know if you have any time management hacks in the comment section below. I love improving my productivity and I'm always open to hearing new ideas. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more such content. Until next week, peace.